Veteran Stadium. D'Aloiso, who was not active last week against the Redskins, is today. By Sikahema. Back deep for the Eagles. He has been very close to breaking a punt return or a kickoff return the last few weeks.
Dan Reeves was saying yesterday that Brad D'Aloiso will be active every game from now on.
The high, deep kick chases Sikahema back out of the end zone, and so the Eagles will take over behind Ken O'Brien, the ex-Jets. He is signed as a free agent. In front of him, Broderick Thompson, Baldinger, Alexander Hallstrom, and Davis. And those who'll handle the ball: Herschel Walker, Vaughn Hebron, Victor Bailey, and Calvin Williams, the wide receivers, and Mark Bavaro, the ex-Giant. Dallas has lost. That's the final. O'Brien, 1st and 10. Dallas 27-14, a loser to Atlanta. This is different. Left side, perhaps a yard. Stopped by Michael Brooks. And here is the Giant defensive line: Fox, Dillard, and Hamilton. They'll start that way. The linebackers: Lawrence Taylor, perhaps making his last appearance here at Veterans Stadium, Bailey, Brooks, and Miller. And the secondary: Jackson and Guyton, the safeties, Corey Raymond, and Mark Collins, the cornerbacks.
Yeah, there's a tough break for the Philadelphia Eagles on the first play, Pat. That's their left tackle, Broderick Thompson, who I think is their best offensive lineman. And talk about a guy that they needed to get the running game going today. It's Broderick Thompson. He's injured on the first play.
Place is taken by McHale. But Broderick Thompson's a big loss. They are already very thin all up and down that offensive line. That's Bailey in motion. 2nd and 9. O'Brien down. Hit first by Fox.
We see him working there, and Broderick Thompson there, and Fox is going to come right from the area that Broderick Thompson just left. Look at the top of the screen. Like the guy who replaced him, McHale, is the guy who was supposed to block Fox. Fox just takes him and goes right inside him. Watch. Right in here, you see Fox just coming straight up the middle, gets by one blocker. Herschel Walker should have blocked him, and he just kind of let him go and waved him on through.
11-yard loss. Otho Davis working on Broderick Thompson on the sideline. 3rd and 20. Tough to score against the Giants. Flag on the play. I think time expired before O'Brien got things
delay
underway.
Delay of game by the offense. 5-yard penalty. It remains 3rd down.
Ed Hockley is the referee.
You know, last week the Philadelphia Eagles lost Mike Shadd, their starting left guard. Brian Baldinger starting there today. And then on the first play of the game, their left tackle, Broderick Thompson, goes down. So in the last 2 weeks, that's the left side of their offensive line. And then, of course, they get that sack by Fox.
Looked like, for Broderick Thompson, a cramp. Here's O'Brien in the end zone. Hit as his arm started forward. The official right there says it did start forward, so it will not be a safety or a touchdown. Corey Miller came up with the ball.
Corey Miller is going to come from the bottom of the screen here. He's just going around Antone Davis. You see him, he starts into him. Davis tried to hold him, and then he hit O'Brien just as he threw that. Well, that was going forward. That was awfully close.
Jet Fiegels, good kick, chases Meggett back to the 44. He gets across the 50 into Eagle territory to about their 47. 51-yard punt by Fiegels. James Joseph made the stop. Phil Simms will start at quarterback for the Giants. Eric Moore, William Roberts, Oates, Cratch, and Riesenberg. Moore instead of Jumbo Elliott, who did not even make the trip. Hampton, Bunch, Callaway, Jackson, and Cross. Phil Simms, the quarterback. Howard Cross, the tight ends, came as if to line up on the left. Now goes back to the right. split backs for the Giants. And the handoff is to Rodney Hampton, and there's nothing there. The Eagle defense solidified and helped considerably last week by the addition of William Perry. He'll wear number 90. Simmons next to him, Andy Harmon the other defensive tackle, and Mike Flores. The linebackers, William Thomas, Seth Joyner on the outside, Britt Hager in the middle. Allen and McMillan, the cornerbacks, Rich Miano and Andre Waters, the two safeties. Second and long, about 9. Sims to Maggott, not much.
We just got word from the Eagle bench, Pat, that you were right. That Broderick Thompson did have just a cramp, and that they're going to rub that out, and he'll be back, or should be back, on the next series.
Green Bay ahead of Detroit, and the Bears came back to beat Kansas City by 2. Buffalo over Indianapolis. Dave Maggott, the lone setback. There are 4 wide receivers. And Sims back to throw it. A blitz. William Thomas all over Phil Sims. Nobody stayed to block it.
Yeah, that's a problem that the Giants have in that 4 receivers. And then they put Maggott out of the backfield. Here's Maggott. He's going to go this way. Now there's no one to block that backside. And they've been having trouble with that for a month. You see, the back goes the other way. If the back goes one way, the only way you can block it is slide the line the other way. If the back goes that way and you don't slide back, you can't block that backside.
No way. You send them all out, and they rush more than you've got left. That just doesn't work out.
And they've been having trouble with that 4 wide receivers and Maggott with the blitz.
Mike Horan, short kick. Sekahema handle. Shook 1 tackler, shook 2. But there's some more there. Good coverage by the Giants. Jesse Campbell down to lead the tacklers. No score in the first quarter at Veterans. 0-0. Pat Summerall with John Madden at Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia. Zotho Davis puts a little tape on the foot of the injured left offensive tackle Broderick Thompson.
Well, you know, they said that he had a cramp when they were rubbing it out. I just wonder if they had to take the tape off to rub the cramp out and now have to retape it so he can go back in there again. So the Giant offensive line over there figuring out what they were doing on that pass protection. I think it was going to be a screen to make it.
O'Brien hands off to Herschel Walker. Herschel gets about 6. Stopped by Carlton Bailey.
You saw the big guard number 65, Ron Holstrom, was pulling through the hole there, and he found someone to hit. There could have been a fun collision. They've moved him to left guard now. They put Holmes in at right guard because Holstrom was the right guard. They put Holmes at right guard, and they put Holstrom to left.
And they moved Baldinger to left tackle.
Left tackle, right.
About 3. O'Brien. Caught by Bailey. Flag on the play. Made the reception anyway. But he was grabbed by Greg Jackson, who knocked him out of bounds, or the cornerback.
A perfect throw by Ken O'Brien. He hit it. You know, the Giants play double zone, and the corner rotates up. The safety comes over. And he hit him right in that hole between the corner coming up and the safety coming over.
Had to be Raymond who grabbed him then. Let's see.
Holding by the defense, number 39. The penalty is declined. Brings up first down.
Here's
Raymond.
39. Here's Raymond. Here's the safety. Now, as the safety comes over here, Raymond comes up here. You'll see him as he rotates. He holds right there. But again, O'Brien hit Bailey right in that hole between the rotating corner and safety.
That's an excellent throw. Here's O'Brien again. It was batted. Hit at the line of scrimmage. I think by Lawrence Taylor.
Yeah, what Rich Kotite was saying about O'Brien, again, this is his 4th start for the Eagles, and he's starting to get a little more comfortable. But sometimes he shortens up his 5-step drops, and he tends to have batted balls, and that could have happened on that play.
Well, it's still a 5-step drop. It's just that the steps are shorter.
Yeah, I mean, if you take 5 little bitty steps, then you're not far enough from the line of scrimmage, you're going to get the ball patted.
Stopped by Corey Miller. Looks like he got about 5 yards.
You know, Von Hebron is a fun guy. I mean, he's one of those guys out of Virginia Tech. He was a rookie. He is a rookie this year. Wasn't even drafted. Came to training camp, but no one expected he'd even make the team, let alone be starting and be the guy that they're asking. In fact, they're asking Von Hebron now to give this Eagle team some life.
And he can do that. Here's O'Brien. Again, the pressure. He almost lost it. Shoved it forward in the direction of Hebron. So it would be a forward pass, but it's incomplete.
There's a guy who is becoming a factor right now in this Giant defense, coming from the bottom of the screen here, Corey Miller. Yeah, he's not only a linebacker against the run, but he's one of those guys that he hit O'Brien just as he was about ready to do it. But he's one of those guys who is making things happen, is always around, but flying around, knocking balls out of guys' hands, rushing the passer, all those kinds of things.
Jeff Fiegels was back to punt for the Philadelphia Eagles, but I think time ran out again. So they'll move him back 5 yards in any case.
We are not seeing here today 2 of the great pass protection teams in football. I think that's going to be their problem. If they can't run.
False start prior to the snap by the offense, number 56. 5-yard penalty. It remains 4th down.
If these teams can't run and control the ball, they're both in trouble.
Richie Kotite was saying to us yesterday, if we do what we want to and they do what they do best, you're going to have a very short game. Megan signals fair catch at the 12. No score. So the Giant offensive unit comes on. William Perry wears smaller pants than some other people. He just doesn't get all the way in them. Miano thought he had the interception. The officials say he didn't. Howard Cross was the intended receiver.
I think one thing about this Eagle defense, they bring that strong safety Andre Waters up. You can see him, number 20, up there. So you think they got 8 men up. You have to pass against it, and you think that would be open. Now Thomas came back, number 51, and he had good coverage. Sims wanted Cross to keep going, and he kind of stopped, so it wasn't very good between Sims and Howard Cross.
No, it wasn't. Didn't remind you of the days with Bavaro, did it? Flag on the play, way back in the secondary, and the time ran out on the Giant offense.
Delay of game by the offense. 5-yard penalty. It remains 2nd down.
This is something. This one looks like neither team expects offensively what the other team is doing defensively. They don't know exactly what to do. I think they would like to just kind of make a run scrimmage out of it and pound every down. The Eagles were still huddling up, and the Giants quickly got out.
2nd and 15, reverse coming. This is Mark Jackson. And Jackson is tackled way back at about the 1-yard line.
That was a heck of a play by Britt Hager. Britt Hager's a middle linebacker. Just watch the job that he does here. They're going to start. They're going to start the ball on a reverse. That we can stop it right here. I can stop it because I got control of it. But here's Britt Hager here. Instead of going there, he just goes up the field, takes on the guard, and just gets penetration into the backfield. And he almost got 2 points for the Eagles.
3rd and 22, all the way back close to the goal line. Neither team able to do anything on offense. It's Megan stopped just outside the 5.
That's a a pretty big play there for the Giants offense, because now by getting the ball out to the 5-yard line, you're giving your punter the whole 15 yards that he needs for the snap. But he's going to be right up. Again, Mike Moran is going to be right up against that back line. He always has to watch that back line, because if he steps on that, that's a safety.
The first kick this afternoon, the first punt by Horan this afternoon, was not what he illustrated last week against the Redskins.
Well, Dan Reeves said he brought him in to get hang time, to get the ball high.
A little bit off the side of his foot, the directional kick that he talks about. Sekihima came back and handled it. Still on his feet is Sekihima. He has been close to breaking one, and he comes close to breaking one again. Jesse Campbell finally knocked him down, but he crossed midfield into Giant territory.
Catches the ball, and he has great vision, and he takes that first move straight up the field, and he doesn't look like he's really running fast, but guys always tend to miss him.
Right at midfield. First and 10 Eagles. Here's O'Brien. Just overthrew Calvin Williams. He was open in the middle.
And that was just bad by O'Brien there, because he had everything. He had good pass protection there, and he had a wide open receiver. Maybe he was expecting pressure, because you look, he's already been sacked one time. He's been hurried 3 times, knocked down once, and had 2 batted balls. And sometimes a quarterback, when those things happen early in the game, he can imagine that they're happening. And maybe O'Brien imagined something then, because he had good pass protection.
Second and 10. This is Williams again in motion. Screen pass to Walker, who made the reception and fell over his own man, Lester Holmes. And down he went.
Tell you, the first part of this game, Pat, this is the ugliest looking offense that I could remember seeing in a long time. I mean, O'Brien has a wide open guy and misses him on one play. Then he comes back and they have a screen pass, and the lineman falls down and the back falls over him. The Giants throw a screen pass and forget to block the back side. And they run a reverse and almost run it in the end zone for a safety.
You wouldn't call either one a juggernaut so far.
Not thus far.
Here's O'Brien. I think is intercepted. It is intercepted by Myron Guyton. Corey Raymond.
And Corey Raymond is starting for Barry Williams today at that right corner. Dan Reeves says he really likes Raymond because he's a bigger, stronger guy, plays like a safety, can play anywhere, and he comes up with one right there.
Just took it away from the receiver.
Well, again, I think that's the type of strength he's talking about. You just see there where he plays a receiver, rides it in, and just comes underneath Calvin Williams and makes the interception. But he was right there. It looked like O'Brien, he had Williams open earlier. Looked like he thought he'd have an open again, and Corey Raymond was right there.
First and 10 Giants at their own 48. That's Hampton. And Rodney Hampton straight ahead for a first down. Broderick Thompson headed for the locker room. If that was a cramp, it's a long-lasting and serious cramp as he heads in.
Probably started out as a cramp, and then as they checked him, they found out he had something more serious than a cramp. They just had a Corey Raymond who just got this good field position for the Giants, and they run Rodney Hampton on a play that looks like Giant football.
First and 10. They'll run him again. To the 35.
I'll tell you, Hampton saw the fridge on that play. Watch him right here. The fridge is going to go to his left. And we just watch it here. He's going to start off and go left. And Hampton is starting to that side. But Hampton sees this coming now, and he knows I better get the heck off of that. So here comes the fridge. The fridge trips over his own guy. Hampton has the vision and makes a cut right at that point.
That was Hampton again, knocked out of bounds by William Thomas this time. Maybe he got a yard. That interception, by the way, by Corey Raymond was the first of his career. Rodney Hampton. As replaced by Dave Meggett on 3rd down.
Well, Lester Holmes there, number 73 in the Eagles bench. He's the rookie. In fact, he was the #1 draft choice of the Eagles, and it looked like they're trying to get him ready to play right during the game. What the heck was that?
That's Meggett in motion now to keep it back in. Bunch. Sims going deep. Knocked away at the last second and no flag. Mark Jackson, the intended receiver. Mark McMillan right with him. That's good defense.
And that was good defense by Mark McMillan. He's the guy they want to work on. The official was running with him. There was McMillan, the receiver, the official. The official falls down. Watch him there up at the top. There's McMillan. He has good coverage. Now watch the official. You see it. He goes, oh, man, he goes right on his back. Again, McMillan just gets that left hand in there as Mark Jackson was going to make the catch.
Daoiso will try a field goal of 52 yards now. Treadwell, the normal field goal kicker, but 2 on for him. Daoiso, no good. A little bit of a break for the Eagles. The field goal's no good, and they take over back at the original line of scrimmage. Herschel Walker gets the carry on 1st and 10. Eagles gets about 3 or 4.
They're talking about pass protection, I'm sure, in the offensive plays, and Oates is still shaking his head about that field goal and where all those guys came from that lined up on him. They were just 2 guys on you know, just shoulder to shoulder, and as he snapped that ball, and again, he wasn't the snapper until 2 weeks ago after they waived Steve Diassi. They gave him a ride backwards.
2nd and 7. It has not been a very explosive first quarter. O'Brien missed the handoff or went the wrong way and lunged ahead for maybe a yard.
Lawrence Taylor played that one pretty well. You know, he was there. He took on the blocker. The blocker was Herschel Walker. Kind of took him on and just played there. Lawrence Taylor. Again, not what he was. Like he said, I'm not what I was 5 years ago, but who is what they were 5 years ago? And he said, I'm kind of glad, because if I was what I was 5 years ago, I'd have to play for another 10 years. I don't understand it.
I understand.
He's going to play 5 more years.
Here's O'Brien. Gets it to Walker. Walker will have an Eagle first down at about the 48-yard line. Myron Guyton was the first one to hit it, along with Willie Beeman.
Here's the thing, everyone knows that Herschel Walker is a fast guy, one of the fastest players in football, but you don't realize how strong he is. I mean, if he ever gets going, he is really tough to bring down. In fact, on that last play, looked like half the Giant defense hit him, and they haven't brought him down yet.
Still upright. 1st and 10. Philadelphia. O'Brien fakes up in the pocket. Overthrows Victor Bailey. He again was open.
Hey, O'Brien is getting pretty good pass protection now. Watch the pass protection. He's getting receivers open, and he's just not making the throw. Look, that's good pass protection. He has time. He steps up. He has a guy open, and he just heaves it over his head. And that's just a bad throw. He's done that a couple of times where he had Calvin Williams open early, he had Bailey open, he's had some guys open, and just can't throw the ball to him.
2nd and 10. On Henry. 3 maybe. Stopped by Lawrence Taylor.
The one thing about the Giant defense this year, Pat, is the whole thing is to get these guys up and attack. You know, everyone, I mean, the line, they all hit the gap. Everyone attacks. These guys here have to make all the tackles, but boom, they have to attack. Everything is aggressive. It's one gap, and it's when you see the run, everyone attack, everyone get to the ball and gang tackle. Look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tacklers in on that play.
Eric Howard was saying yesterday he had to learn how to play all over again.
Yeah, because it's basically a one gap. They don't use a nose tackle much more. The nose tackle.
That's their first charge, team timeout.
The nose tackle is lining up more on the guards now instead of the center.
It's a one gap, as you said, instead of two gap.
Yeah, they used to have to play the center and then play a gap on either side, which is a two gap. Now they just play a side, take a shoulder, hit that gap, try and get the guy turned.
This is an Eagle timeout.
You know, if we look at this defense, here's the whole base of the defense. These three guys are the defensive linemen. Now what their job is to do is to hit gap and take blockers. Hit gaps, take blockers, hit gaps, take blockers, and not let these linemen here get to these inside linebackers. Then the outside linebackers, they're to force everything in. So if these guys take on blocks, take on blocks, take on blocks, that will free these two guys, Carlton Bailey and Miller, to make most of the plays. Then if you look at their stats, they do. I mean, Michael Brooks is kind of the leader of that defense, and they try and force everything to him and everything to the other inside linebacker, Carlton Bailey. So the linemen, their biggest job is to keep the offensive linemen off the inside linebacker.
Sometimes that's as tough to convince them of mentally as it is physically. Let somebody else get all the ink and all the tackles.
Especially when the guys like Michael Brooks and Bailey are two new guys getting a lot of dough.
Here's O'Brien again. Incomplete. Intended for Bailey. High and behind.
Well, that time he's going to have a little pressure on him here this time, but again, he just throws the ball high. He has time. He just can't find a guy. Then he brings the ball down, buys a little time, and throws another high ball.
That might be some time he wished he didn't purchase.
Yeah,
it'll limp off, but he seems to be okay, O'Brien does. Beagle, the punt it. Megan says leave it alone. Bit of an Eagle bounce down to the 12. First and 10, Eagles. There's O'Brien over on the sideline. Broderick Thompson just went inside a moment ago to the training room. And this is what it looks like inside Otho Davis domain.
I tell you, this is a thing of beauty. Look at this hanging, Pat. All those old helmets and shoes that he has hanging up there.
Ex-player.
Then he got all the modern equipment, all those tables. Those are the taping tables, the rubbing tables. I tell you, Otho Davis has a great atmosphere in the training room.
It's so nice you want to stay in there.
In fact, we did yesterday. He makes chili. Otho Davis makes chili, and he's the trainer with Philadelphia Eagles again, but he makes the best chili anywhere. You know, not only the best chili in the NFL, he makes the best chili in the world, I think.
It's quite an honor to be invited in.
Yeah, and then to sit there and then you have a bowl, and you know, one of those bowls tastes like another one and another one and another one. But Otho Davis is working today. He was making chili yesterday, but he's working today. Broderick Thompson already, Ken O'Brien on that series.
Second and 4. Here's Sam. That's Mark Jackson and a flag on the play. There is Otho, the master chili maker.
And there's a chili. You see what happened is today, this is the second day. And it always tastes better reheated. But today he put the macaroni in. But you know how you can tell it's good? This stuff right here. What do you call that around the pot?
I don't know, but that was there yesterday. Residue.
Yeah, but it just kind of sits in there and simmers.
And that's what makes it good.
Pass interference by the offense, number 80. Half the distance to the goal. Repeat second down.
Pass interference called against the Giants, Chris Callaway. Half the distance to the goal line. That'll put the Giants back inside the 10.
Yeah, they always used to call that on the defensive guy, and I think that's what Dan Reeves is so upset about. You know, anytime you see an interference, you always assume that it's against the defense. And then when they come and throw it against the offense, it's darn near a double shocker for you.
Second down, about 14. Hit by Andre Waters, number 20. And Britt Hager.
You know, the number one thing that kills any offense is turnovers. The second thing is penalties. and especially in offense against the Giants. I like the Giants. It is a time of possession offense. They want to be able to run the ball and those kinds of things.
There's a fire. Those are ashes on this artificial turf. There's a fire at the nearby Naval Shipyard, and that's where they're from. It's caught by Ed McCaffrey. Not much of a gain, however. And that's the end of the first quarter. An interesting first quarter with the score 0-0.
Along with, where's the other half of the moon? What's Martinizing? Why does it take an hour? How do you get home from a marathon? Where's the other half of the moon? What happens to pumpkins in July?
Some of those I don't know the answers to. Mike Horan's punt. Handled by Sikahema. And he's handled pretty quickly by the Giant coverage team. Marcus Buckley down to make the stop. "14 minutes, 51 seconds left in the first half. First downs in the first quarter. The Giants 1, the Eagles 2. Look at the passing yards.
You know, if you look, we talked about an ugly first half with one team has one. I mean, first quarter, one team has 1 first down, the other has 2. Minus 11 yards passing for one team and 16 yards for the other team. Things aren't going well for the offenses. We're watching a great quarter of defensive football.
This is the NFL. This is Herschel Walker. Walker to the 24-yard line of the Giants. Stopped by Myron Guyton.
Yeah, Herschel Walker was saying this week that they just ought to give him the ball more. They ought to let him carry the ball 25 times. His offensive lineman, in fact, Dave Alexander, the center, said the same thing. Let's just give it to Herschel, pound it at him. Once he can get to the line of scrimmage and get his shoulders squared like that, he is very difficult to stop. If you're going to stop Herschel Walker, you have to get him before his shoulders get turned.
He is alone, setback now on first down. It's Walker again. And it's just a couple of yards. Never got squared away that time.
Nope, he didn't, and that's the way you got to get him. See, that time before, no one got any penetration on the right side of the Giant defense, and no one attacked that side. He got a soft corner, and he took it. That time he went to the right side, and he got a hard corner and didn't get anything.
Michael Brooks made the first contact with Walker. Again, he'll be the lone setback. They'll go with 2 wide receivers, 2 tight ends. James Joseph, the H-back. Fake to Walker. Taken down by Stacy Dillard is O'Brien.
Again, Dillard came from that left side of the Eagle offense. We're going to see, here's where they're having trouble is on the left side. You see Dillard, he just penetrates, comes right up the middle. They were trying to pull the guard. The tackle couldn't get down, and Dillard just got right in behind the pulling guard, got the penetration, and found the quarterback, Ken O'Brien.
3rd and 18, back at the 32. It's James Joseph again on the move. O'Brien to throw it. He's going to take off. O'Brien slides at the 21. Armstead up to make sure he stayed down along with David Tate. And that does get him in field goal range.
You know, here's what he was looking at. See, they only have 2 defensive linemen here. These guys are linebackers. Everyone comes on a pass rush. You see, everyone comes on a pass rush. Now when O'Brien steps up, we can stop it right here. Now all these guys are behind him, so there's no one in front of him, and that's why he runs it.
Matt Barr to attempt the field goal from 39 yards away. Great field goal. Eagles. Close to a first down. Maybe, maybe not.
Rich Kotite told us yesterday he was going to do that. He was was going to do it to the side of the block. The only thing he said, he wanted it to be about 4th and 5, and I think that was about 4th and 7 or 8. And it's those extra yards that may get him here on this.
Greg Jackson came up to stop him. If they leave it where it is, it's not a first down.
I thought he saw a flaw in the side that they came from the block. In other words, they were coming from the block or right, and he was going to run outside. He wanted to again do it at 4th and 5, where you only had to pick up 5 or 6 yards. He did it at 4th and 7, and I think that 5 or 6 yards may just be the thing that gives the Giants the ball.
That's short of a first down. The Giants will take over. See what they saw.
Well, here's what they do. See, they see that the block is coming from here, so they want to fake this and get it and run it to that side, to the side of the block. They want the block to come and run right by it. You see, that worked. That worked. The only thing is they had too far to go. And Greg Jackson made a heck of a play.
So far, there hasn't been a lot to summarize. The Giants 21 total yards, the Eagles 82. Sims 1 out of 3 for 4 yards passing. Herschel Walker had the one long run for 35 yards, and that's been pretty much the offense. 1st and 10. This is Hampton trying to get around the corner and doesn't do it. Clyde Simmons, who had injured his ankle earlier but came back.
Now let's watch the fake again. See, Fiegels puts the ball down. The Giants were blocking from that side. He lets them commit, and the only guy they don't get is Greg Jackson. Now again, if they were 4th and 3 or 4th and 4, that would have been an Eagle first down. But 4th and 7, Jackson made the tackle before they could get the first down.
Hampton picked up nothing. 2nd and 10. About a half yard short of another first down.
Someone lost part of their equipment there. I guess it was Bob Cratch trying to find. He got hit so hard he knocked some pads off him.
Atlanta beat Dallas. Green Bay beat Detroit. The Bears came back to defeat Kansas City. Miami over New England. Houston beat Cleveland. And the Jets over Cincinnati. William Perry plugged up the middle, but not before Phil Simms got, I believe, got the first down.
And I think when you're having the kind of day, I think Phil Simms' net passing today is for minus. When you're a 15-year veteran quarterback, you know you have to do something, so you might as well run a quarterback sneak.
He did get the first down. 1st and 10 Giants at their own 27-yard line. Rodney Hampton is the deep back. Hampton. 3 maybe.
See what they did there is they had Andre Waters up there in the fridge. Want the fridge here. He's going to get penetration, and anytime he gets penetration, it's going to be tough to run in there, especially when they're giving you the 8-man. See, he makes a little move, then right there. See, he gets his penetration right there. Rodney Hampton read him, tried to break off him or cut off him, and there was number 20, Andre Waters, the strong safety.
Brian Williams is now the Giants center instead of Oates. Here's Simms to throw. Mark Jackson hit by Eric Allen.
That was one of the things that Phil Simms was saying yesterday, Pat, is that you know you want to throw the ball, but this isn't a good team to have to throw against because the Eagle corners are so good. And I think right there we just saw one of the best, number 21, Eric Allen, who is one of the best defensive backs or one of the best corners in the league.
I'll never forget that run he made against the Jets earlier this year.
One of the great plays. I mean, the whole interception and the return, one of the greatest plays I've ever seen.
3rd and 6. Simms back to throw it. Maybe. Fumble. This is a fumble. Meggett got it back.
And that was Eric Allen. We were just talking about Eric Allen on the play before that. He makes a cover, and here Eric Allen is up on the line of scrimmage, and he's coming on a blitz. You watch him, 21, he's right on the end of the line. He's going to come in the blitz. He's not even faking like he's covering. He just goes around there. Again, no one blocks him. The Giants having trouble all year with the blitz. Luckily, Dave Megan was in position to recover the fumble.
Mike Horan, 4th punt of the day.
But you can say there's one big problem the Giants have is the blitz.
This is a good kick. Hammer handles it at the 31. Can go nowhere. Willie Beeman down in a hurry.
Let him go. Let him go.
Sims hit from behind. The Eagles take over.
But now Strahan has replaced Hamilton.
That's Herschel Walker spinning over the right side. Broderick Thompson, by the way. John, you have more word on him?
Yeah, they said that Broderick Thompson had the cramp, and they thought that they'd be able to rub it out and he'd get back in there. And now we have word that he's not going to be back. So again, they took Brian Baldinger, moved him from left guard. He's now playing left tackle. Ron Holstrom came over from the right guard to the left guard, and then the rookie Lester Holmes is playing right guard.
Alexander still the center. Here is O'Brien. Gets the ball to James Joseph. And that's close to a first down.
Watch Lawrence Taylor here, though, Pat. He just comes right around Baldinger here, and he was hanging on O'Brien as O'Brien throws the ball. Look, he still has that good move, and he comes in there, and just as he grabbed him, O'Brien got rid of that. Usually, Taylor would come around that corner and throw that chop and try and knock the ball out of there. There, he was a little beyond him, so he just had to reach for his waist, and he slipped out.
First down, Eagles. At the 45. Midfield. Tripped up by Bailey.
They like Von Hebron. The only thing they don't like about him is he's had a few fumbles, and they call that, you know, they always have a word for fumble. Remember, it used to be, oh, the guy fumbled the ball, and then say, well, he left it on the ground or left it on the carpet. Now they call it ball maintenance. If Hebron has good ball maintenance, they'll be okay.
The game has gotten a lot more sophisticated, but there's still no points on the board. That's Hebron. And he went backwards. And this is the thing that
him on the carpet. This is the thing that Michael Brooks does so well, is when he sees something or he sees a gap, he hits the gap. He doesn't wait and flow or anything. You see right there, now he sees the gap, he fills that gap, and in that gap he finds Von Hebron. But Michael Brooks, again, this defense is made for the inside linebackers. This defense is made for Michael Brooks, but he still has to make the plays, and he is making the plays.
Last couple of weeks, he's been devastating. O'Brien intended for Walker. Knocked away by David Tate. He was open for a moment. And then Eagles comes on.
That was one of those things that would look good in the film. You know, you have Herschel Walker running right up the middle, and he was wide open until you throw the ball, and then David Tate made a heck of a play on the ball.
Meggett standing back at the 15. Feagles to punt it for Philadelphia. Meggett down at about the 23 by Otis Smith. First and 10 Giants. No score yet. 46 left to play in the first half at Veterans Stadium. No score as yet. The Giants and the Eagles. The Giants with a chance after the Cowboys lost today to get a share of first place. The Eagles trying to stay alive to stay in the race. They could even their record at 5-5. They've lost 5 in a row. Here's Sims. For Cross, one-handed grab. Good catch by Howard Cross. Drag Rich Miano.
That was a heck of a catch by Howard Cross. Howard Cross has been known more as a blocking tight end than a pass receiving tight end. What Sims, he kind of sidearms that thing out of there, although he sidearms a perfect spiral. Howard Cross just puts his left hand out and stops it, and then reaches down and catches it again before the ball hits the ground.
That's Hampton. Tripped up by Andre Waters. Pass completions, look at that.
Now they've had 4 pass completions and 4 punts. They've had as many pass completions, both teams have, as they have punts. And I think the secret to this for the Giants right now, like they did to that play to Howard Cross, is start throwing on first down, because they're having trouble handling the blitz, and the blitz is usually coming on 2nd and 3rd and long.
2nd and 8. Here's Sims. Batted down. And picked off by Britt Hager. To see how. I thought it was batted down, but not all the way down.
I think what you're going to see is watch Joyner here coming on the pass rush. He's going to take Rodney Hampton, and he's going to knock him right into Phil Sims. Right as Sims is throwing the ball, it looked like the ball went up, and Hager just came out with it before it ever hit the ground.
Let's have another look.
See, again, he gets the pressure from his right side. Hager's up the middle. Hager's the guy who tipped it, but it didn't go down to the ground. He tipped it and caught it in one motion. That's a heck of an athletic move.
I'll tell you. This is Walker. Nothing there. Walker loses about 6. It looked as if he was getting ready to throw it.
Right, he was trying to throw it to Calvin Williams deep. In fact, there was only one receiver out in the pattern, and that's number 89. You see him come in motion there? Walker's going out, and he has him for a little while. He was trying to throw it, but the Giants had good coverage deep on Calvin Williams. Calvin Williams was the only guy out there as a receiver. When Walker couldn't throw it to him, he did the smart thing and just take the loss.
And the loss was tacked on by Brooks. 2nd and 15. O'Brien, down he goes. That Giant defense all over O'Brien.
Well, neither one of these offenses can play in long yardage. The Eagles' tricks have backfired. They tried the fake field goal, and that didn't work. They tried to get the run pass with Herschel Walker, and that didn't work. And then they get in long yardage, and they just don't have good enough pass protection.
O'Brien looks like he's in pain. 3rd and 22.
Ken O'Brien is getting the heck beat out of him.
Oh, boy.
I mean, he's had some protection and made some bad passes, but there were times like that when he didn't have any protection or any time at all.
He's not as tall as he was when the game started. They snapped it to the short back, and he bobbled it. Vaughn Hebron, the snap was high, and he did well to stay on the ball.
Hey, the Eagles' bags of tricks are bad today. Here's the 3rd one. We had the fake field goal, we had the run pass, and we had this as a trick. Those are 3 ugly tricks.
Trick or treat.
If you're going to have a trick, I mean, that was a good snap to Hebron. Again, he's just not used to catching the snap, and it is tough to catch a snap running forward at the snap.
So Feagles standing back in punt formation. They couldn't take advantage of the turnover, and the Giants have been touched. They'll let the clock run out. That was Hager's first interception, by the way.
I think the Eagles probably want to take that penalty. The Giants aren't going to give it to them. They want to back it up and have them to let them have 5 more yards to angle it.
5-yard penalty, it remains 4th down.
It'll be interesting. They are marking it off, and now Feagles will get 5 more yards to give them a better angle to get the ball out of bounds inside the 10.
Meggett standing back at the 10. 2 punt returns. Trying to block it. That didn't work. Fair catch. Ball is down inside the 5 by Otis Smith. He made it look very casual, but it was a good play. Cold for the Cowboys on that trip back from Atlanta.
Yeah, we got the turkey going for
bounces up. Stopped by William Thomas and Clyde Simmons.
Yeah, until that carry, Rodney Hampton had 8 carries for 32 yards, and I think that's what they have to do. I mean, they have to get him more involved, start getting some first downs, get some good field position, and then maybe start throwing more on first down. Both of these teams, I feel, have to start throwing on first down because
no
they can't
score,
pass.
no score as yet, and we get the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes left to play in the first half at Veterans Stadium. And for the Giants, Jackson was the man in motion. They give to Hampton. Rodney Hampton near the 30. Hit by William Thomas. And that, of course, will be enough for a first down.
That's what the Giants needed, just something to give them some life. They were backed up there. They started, and the guy that they went to give them the life was Rodney Hampton, and I think that's probably the right idea, and then running to that right side is probably a good idea too.
So it's a first down, Giants, with 1:50 left to play in the first half, and this is Liberty Bell atop Veterans Stadium. It hasn't been cracked today by much offense. That's Jared Bunce's move, and Sims fake to Hampton. Caught by Mark Jackson. Another Giant first down. They have 2 timeouts left.
See, and that's the difference there by throwing on first down and going play pass. You see all the time that Phil Sims had. He can get that on first down with play pass. He can't get that on second, third, and long.
On first down again by Howard Cross. They'll hustle again. Timeout, Giants. 1:16 left. They'll have 1 timeout left. Tonight on CBS, it begins with 60 Minutes. The Drug Enforcement Administration. The DEA accuses the CIA of drug smuggling. That's the kind of story no one can resist, but only 60 Minutes has it. That's tonight on CBS, followed by Murder, She Wrote. And then a Walton Thanksgiving reunion. Tonight, coming up here on CBS.
Yeah, I just saw it first. I have no idea what it is, Pat, but in that break there, David Meggett walked over to Clyde Simmons and shook hands with him and then walked back. And I don't know what that, I don't know if that means for something that had happened to play before or something that's going to happen on a play to come. He just walked over and shook hands and walked back, just like you see a guy, hey, how you doing? Shake hands and walk away.
I'm glad you're here. Stay there. Meggett's the lone setback. Maybe he said, I'm coming your way.
And he did. He went over and shook hands and then had a draw play that was going to run right at Clyde Simmons. That's the strangest thing I've ever seen.
Clock running, 1 minute left on 1st and 10. The pass from Sims, complete to Jackson, and they'll hurry up.
And the Giants still trying to get in field goal range. They do have 1 timeout left.
2nd and 6. Draw play Meggett. Down to about the 31. That'll get them close to field goal range. Stopped by Corey Barlow. A lot of Corys on these 2 teams.
4 Corys in this game, a league record.
Sims downs it, stops the clock with 19 seconds remaining. They still have 1 timeout.
I would think that would mean then that they're going to take another shot, because if they were satisfied to take the field goal now, then they would have just taken a timeout. By doing that, now what that does is that gives them 1 shot at it. And I think you already have your field goal. I would think the shot you should take should be a shot at the end zone.
The field goal would be about 48 yards. Whoop. Get ready. Here they come.
Yeah, Eric Allen was demonstrating to the official what they were doing to him.
Sims on 2nd down. Off the middle. And McCaffrey. And that well within the range of David Treadwell.
What that did is it didn't give them another chance of getting a touchdown because they had to use their timeout, but it did give them an easier or closer field goal. I know that you always say there's no such thing as an easy field goal or a chip shot, but it did give them that.
Well, it got him probably out of Daloiso range into Treadwell range.
Well, it looks like what they're going to do is take another shot.
Yeah,
now, again, with no timeouts, this is tough. You can't take a sack, and you better throw the ball in the end zone. You can't throw it in the middle. That's a surprising move. I'm surprised that they don't kick the field goal here.
That's Treadwell, whose longest is 46. Sims is 8 out of 12 now after a very, very slow start.
And with the trouble the Giants have been having against the blitz, I would expect that the Eagles would blitz him here in this situation.
They're not showing blitz yet. Now they move up on the line of scrimmage. Back off. Going to be a three-man rush. Sims hoping for a pass interference call. The ball high over the head of Callaway, I believe. Sims is saying, hey, he grabbed my man. Can't do that.
Sims was going to take that shot, just throw it in the end zone where it's either going to be a touchdown, an incomplete, or maybe a penalty, and still keep that same position.
So it will be Treadwell, who's 16 out of 18 for the year. From 35 yards, make it 34. Points on the board. 4 seconds left on the scoreboard clock. Still nothing.
And you can tell, you want to know what frustration looks like. Look at Dan Reeves. Yeah, they've worked all day. That was really their first sign of offense. That was a pretty good drive by the Giants. And then to come down here and get nothing, you start to bend, you start to smile, and then you say, this is unbelievable.
A pretty good bend, though. Third down, look at that.
Yeah, that's a big thing, and neither one of these teams are good at third and long, and the Giants averaged over 7, and the Eagles averaged over 12. And then they have trouble pass protected. They just can't get anything going. And so they have to go after and be more successful on first down. I think that's the answer to both teams. If you're going to throw it, start throwing it on first down when you don't get the blitzes and the big pass rushes.
Again, Dallas lost today, so the Giants with a victory can move into a tie for first in the NFC East. And drive kickoff is down in the end zone. So the Giants will start from their own 20. Jumbo Elliott had a back spasm in practice during the week. He'd been bothered earlier by neck problems, and his back just acted up. He didn't even make the trip.
Well, you get the back spasms, you keep thinking it's going to be better the next day, and it just didn't get better the next day.
Here's Hampton spinning left and doing most of this on his own. Stopped by Flores.
That's one thing about any good running back. What they do is they get in behind an offensive line. You see, you get a little push there, and then you just keep your feet moving. You never stop your feet going. Even when you do a spin or you do whatever, a good running back always keeps his feet going, and that's exactly what Rodney Hampton did.
He is a good running back. Here he is again. Flag on the play. It's going to be holding against the Giants. Unhappy Dan Reeves.
He's been a frustrated Dan Reeves. I think that this is probably for both coaches has been an awfully frustrating game. You know, the Eagles have tried their tricks and they've all backfired, and Reeves just can't get anything going.
Holding by the offense, number 66. 10-yard penalty. Repeat second down.
Call against William Roberts. 2nd and 14 it'll be.
William Roberts is the guy that's a left guard who's had to block William the Refrigerator Perry on running downs. Perry's out of there now because this is the 2nd and long, and this is the area where the Giants have been having trouble. 2nd and long, 3rd and long.
If you're going to hold William Perry, you better have long arms. 2nd down and long. That handoff is to Megan. He gets outside the 25 to about the 26, stopped by Miano.
Pretty good trap play. What they did is they pulled the left guard. You'll see Roberts here. He's going to pull and trap, and then Megan gets the ball and then comes right in and just follows that trap block. We watch the off guard. See Roberts come, and boom, right there, he gets a trap block, and that trap gets the hole started. Then Jared Bunch gets another block and lets Megan get another couple of yards.
It's 3rd and 5 now. The Eagles showing blitz. Giants did not pick it up. This is a fumble. Beg your pardon, it's not a fumble. His arm was going forward. He was trying to throw it.
And again, that was William Thomas coming from that backside. I tell you, now watch the arm moving forward. If the arm's moving forward, it can't be a fumble. But that ball is hit and knocked out of there. Thomas was right on his back, and I think he kind of hit it and knocked it forward.
That was close.
Hey, if they're going to pass the ball, they better try and not, again, do it on 3rd down. But if they're going to, they better get that left side blocked over there, whether it's Thomas or Eric Allen or whomever coming on a blitz from Sims's backside. Has almost gotten some big plays for the Eagles today.
Mike Horan back to punt. To Phi Sikahema. The sign of Sikahema signals for a fair catch. Now the ball bounces. He finally fielded it. Willie Beeman was down. The Giants are saying they got the football.
I think what they're saying is that he gave a fair catch signal and then tried to return it.
Well, if the ball bounces, the fair catch goes off. Nothing. Replacing Ken O'Brien. Remember when he came in replacing Randall Cunningham earlier, what a job he did. Then he got hurt.
But he came in when he replaced Randall Cunningham. He didn't expect to play, and boom, he was in there. That was against the Jets. That kind of thing. And then he got hurt, and he got hurt against the Giants the first time they played.
And O'Brien came in. Herschel Walker protecting the ball, gets about 9 yards. Gets close to a 1st down. Stopped by Jackson.
And then they say that Ken O'Brien, we saw that earlier where he was, messing with his hand and stuff, that he did injure his thumb, but could play. So I think it's a combination of a little injury, but, he's not a mobile guy. Bubby Brister's a little more mobile. And you see the pressure that Ken O'Brien had. He was sacked 3 times, hurried 8 times, knocked down 6 times. I mean, they just got all over him. So maybe the Eagles just feel they need a change of pace, and Bobby Brister will give them that.
They need about a foot for a 1st down.
This was the type of stuff that Ken O'Brien was having happen to him. You look, if you don't have a lot of mobility and you're not going to get rid of the ball quickly, then the play is going to end up with a bunch of white jerseys on top of you, and you're going to have a bad thumb and stuff.
So Brister is the quarterback. 2nd and about a foot. 2nd and 1. Herschel Walker is the lone setback. Flag on the play. Walker gets enough for the 1st down, but the Giants appeared to be offside.
I think it was their left side, and again, sometimes that happens to your team. You bring in a new quarterback, he has a different cadence, and you jump. Sometimes it happens to his own guys, and sometimes it happens to the other team, like it did then.
Offside by the defense, number 75. 5-yard penalty, 1st down.
See, that's Keith Hamilton right here. You're going to see him jump. Again, even the defense will get used to O'Brien's cadence. They get used to the 1st half cadence. They bring in Brister. He gives another cadence, another emphasis, and boom. Hamilton jumps.
So it's first down Eagles at their own 35. Fake is to Walker. Brister gets rid of it. I don't know how. Lawrence Taylor was spinning around with him, and a flag comes in late.
They're going to say that he threw the ball away to avoid the sack. And if he's outside the tight ends, he can do it. But watch Taylor from up here. He's going to come. And again, pass protection today has been terrible. No one blocks Lawrence Taylor. He goes to a waggle. Lawrence Taylor blitzes right into the waggle. And he had a hold of him. Brister tried to throw it away. And they said that he tried to throw it away to avoid the sack. I don't know what else he's supposed to do, though.
He got it upfield. But that's the penalty.
I don't know why he can't do that. I mean, I don't know what's wrong with that. I mean, what's his alternative? Just to stand there and let everyone jump on him?
Now they say there was no flag, John.
Well, good. That's why I couldn't understand it. I mean, how can you say he's throwing it away? What do you expect the guy to do? He threw it up the field. There was a receiver there, and they just didn't blow the whistle. If they wanted to protect the quarterback, they could have blown the whistle and made it dead.
Second and 10 in any case. And Brister back to throw. Better protection this time, but the ball is still tipped. And incomplete, intended for Calvin Williams.
You know, and they're still double teaming Lawrence Taylor. You know, after that first one, watch Taylor here. He'll start and he'll get Bowman. He'll get double teamed right in there. You think, well, Lawrence Taylor isn't what he used to be. But watch, the tackle comes off on him. Watch the guard, Hallstrom, 65, slide that way. They still get about 600 pounds a guy on Lawrence Taylor when they know they have to pass.
Stacy Dillard got a hand on that pass. It's still incomplete.
That's why Taylor is still valuable. You know, they have to know where he is. They're still sliding. They're still doubling him.
Here's Brister. This time, protection is there, and the pass is complete to Calvin Williams, and that will be enough for a first down.
I think the key was, like you said, Pat, the protection was there because Bubby Brister stood in that pocket and he stepped in when he put the mustard on that thing.
Other scores today, these are all finals. Atlanta beat Dallas. The Giants have a chance to tie Dallas for first place in the NFC East. Green Bay starting to roll. They beat Detroit 26-17.
How about Chicago beating Kansas City?
We'll see Chicago on Thanksgiving Day. Here's Hebron. A lot of dancing, but not many yards.
And this Giant defense is one that you can't dance against. I mean, the thing that they do, they attack, they pursue, they gang tackle. Mike Nolan, their defensive coordinator, Dick Nolan's son, that's one thing that he teaches, you know, to get everyone to the ball. And they do that well.
Second and 11. Line of scrimmage about the Eagle 47. Second 11. 10:35 left to play third quarter. Brister, incomplete. Flag on the play, intended for Bailey. Penalty marker down.
They're throwing it right in the area of Corey Raymond. Corey Raymond starting at right corner today for Perry Williams. And Corey Raymond was the guy doing the arguing. And then he backed off. Then he walked away from it.
Well, let's see.
Well, you see, after 5 yards, you can't bump him. Here's what we're talking about here.
Number 39. It was not a pass interference call, so the fact the ball may have been tipped doesn't affect the foul. It's a 5-yard penalty and an automatic first down.
Automatic first down.
He was calling that against Corey Raymond, that after 5 yards, you can't touch him.
Right.
And so he had his hands on him after 5 yards. And because it wasn't pass interference and because it was tipped, the holding still counts.
So it's first and 10, automatic first down. The ball was tipped. Eagles are at the Giant 48. The handoff is to Walker. He gets about a yard. Keith Hamilton.
And that's the way that you play Herschel Walker, just like that. I mean, you know, we saw early in the game in the first half where he got a run on the left side where he got a soft spot and he could run. That time they gave him nothing.
That's Lawrence Taylor who's down. The staff out checking LT over. 0-0 score. He got standing up or almost standing up, threw his helmet down, and they're still checking.
You know, they always say that this stadium probably has the worst artificial turf. And I think that's what's upset Lawrence Taylor there. I think he got it when he planted his foot to take on a block and just got Cato, you know, where the foot grabs the turf and the only thing that can go is the joint.
Bavaro, complete from Brister at the 25. Stopped by Greg Jackson.
That's Mark Bavaro's first catch. You see there they are checking his knee. Watch Mark Bavaro on the right-hand side of your screen. You saw him run that same pass pattern, that seam pass pattern for the Giants for so many years. There's no one that runs that better than Mark Bavaro.
No one has a better feel for finding that seam.
And I think that Phil Simms probably threw it as well as anyone.
The handoff is to Walker. Walker scrambling down inside the 25 to about the 23, stopped by Carlton Bailey and Mike Fox. They still look at Lawrence Taylor.
Well, you know, Lawrence Taylor last year, remember, Pat, he had the torn Achilles tendon and that finished his season. This year he had to pull hamstring for the first half of the season, and now that was finally feeling okay for the first time. And I think he got one of those artificial turf things where the foot planted, the foot got caught when he had to take on a block, and the only thing to give us a joint, and it looked like he hurt his knee on that play.
2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers, 1 back for the Eagles. Maurice Johnson, the other setback. On the other tight end, this is Walker. Down to about the 12. Not quite enough for a first down. Stopped by Guyton.
The inside of that Eagle offensive line got some movement on that one because they got Herschel Walker. They got him in that hole. They let him square his shoulders. You watch Herschel Walker, he's here, and he's just going to come right in here, and he gets square. Watch, it's a little delay, and right there, and he just stays square the whole time, and that's the way that Herschel Walker can run. There wasn't much attacking done by that Giant defense on that play.
3rd and 3. At the 18. Brister to Walker. Will not be a first down. And we'll see Barr on the field goal team.
And there was some attacking on that play. Again, it was a great play by Michael Brooks. The play before that, they didn't attack the line of scrimmage. But watch Brooks right here. You're going to see him as a ball starts. Boom, he's going to attack and hit that hole right there. You don't wait for it to come to you. You're not going up and down the line of scrimmage. You just attack the hole. And when you attack the right hole, you're going to come up with a loss.
Matt Barr, the last time they were here, they faked this field goal effort. This time they go for it. And Barr hits it. The first points of the day. And the Eagles lead to play in the 3rd quarter. The Eagles on the scoreboard. 3-0, they lead. Chris Callaway. Dave Meggett back deep. This is going to be Meggett at the 5. Down at about the 26. John Roper. Lewis Cooper down to make the stop.
You know, just a little while ago, we saw Lawrence Taylor was up and he was trying to jog along the sideline. Then we just had that shot there where he was sitting next to Corey Miller there. And I wouldn't be surprised, just knowing Lawrence Taylor, that somehow he's going to do whatever he can to get back into this game.
A little bit of a knee sprain, we're told. First down as Simms Britt Hager made the stop. That should be enough. Mark McMillan down. Ben Smith normally would be starting there, but he's hurt.
Of course, Ben Smith was the guy that got hurt when McMillan took his place, and then he got hurt. McMillan came back. He was guarding Mark Jackson on that play.
3-0. The Eagles lead. 6:41 left in the third quarter. Talking about him yesterday with great respect. 1st and 10. Hampton.
And that was Andre Waters in on that tackle again. Andre Waters is a heck of a player against the run. And you know, you're talking about Barry Sanders, Pat. He was saying yesterday, he said, you know, I think Barry Sanders is the best running back in football. Looked like Andre Waters just hurt himself on that play. And he said that he's been in the league 10 years, Andre Waters, and he says he hasn't played against Barry Sanders. He said, to be honest, I hope to get out of this league and never have to play against him.
That's how good he is and how much they respect him. The handoff is to Hampton, wrapped up by William Perry.
And the fridge will do it to you. I mean, he grabs you on the head, and then on the way down, he gives you the boot. I mean, that was Rodney Hampton was saying yesterday, you don't want to run too much on that left side because he plugs up a lot of holes, but there's so much of them to plug up. Hampton's trying to cut back against him. Oh, Fridge just get him right around the head and just starts to turn his neck, and then watch as he goes down, he's going to give him the foot. You got both ends of that.
3rd and 6. Look out. Passing down. Let's see if they protect him. Batted down. Incomplete. William Thomas.
Now, William Thomas has been all over this field. He's a heck of a player. It looks like he is almost spying to get in a lane here. You know, either quarterbacks are throwing the ball lower or something this year. Either they're not getting back far enough or throwing the ball lower, because we see more tips at or around the line of scrimmage than I ever remember in the history of the game.
And it's not just one particular quarterback or one team. It's everybody, every game.
And just think, Sims has had about 3. Remember, Britt Hager knocked one down and caught it. Thomas just knocked one down there.
And a punt. This is a good one. Sikahema sickled and made a fair catch at about the 16. 3-0. The Eagles lead. The Giants nothing. Denver over Pittsburgh. Raiders beating San Diego. Pittsburgh looked so good on Monday night. Now they go to Denver and they get just blown out.
Yeah, how do you know who's good? I mean, you know, everyone says Dallas, I mean, including me, Dallas is the best team. They're beaten by Atlanta. Then Pittsburgh looks good. They're the best team. Kansas City looks good. And Chicago beats them.
Walker will get about 9 more. Stopped by Carlton Bailey.
Herschel Walker was saying this week that, you know, how big this game is. The Eagles again have lost 5 in a row. Rich Kotite says that this is it, you know, that we either win this one or we're not going to be in the playoff. They've really put everything they have into this game.
And Rich Kotite was all psyched up yesterday himself. He said, I might even run down under kickoffs.
Well, that's the point, you know, that you get too fired up. You know, fired up is good. Then when you start thinking that you can still do it, man, that's going overboard.
Walker got a first down. And a timeout is taken by the Eagles.
You know, one of the problems when you put a backup quarterback in is he's not the guy who got the practice plays. He's not the guy who got the reps. So O'Brien has had all the reps this week. He's the guy that got prepared to play this game. Brister didn't get the reps, and then you put him in the game. So some of that communication that could have been done during the week has to be done during the game.
Well, they got down to 1 second on the game clock, on the time clock, and took this time out.
That's why a backup quarterback has to be so special, too, as a guy that can come in and function and run a team without a lot of practice.
Hey, it takes a special temperament too, don't you think?
Yeah. I mean, a guy to get ready and not know if you're going to play.
Like, let's practice a lot but not play. But you have to be ready to play at the same time. Lawrence Taylor back in the lineup for the Giant defense. Walker will be the lone setback. 2 wide receivers to the right this time. First down. Williams was the man in motion, and here's Brister back to throw if he has time. Screen pass to Walker. Walker spun out of a couple of tackles and got to about the 32.
Yeah, if you're going to throw a screen pass, you always want to throw it to the side of the pass rush. And that's exactly what they do. They look, they know that their pass rush is going to come from Taylor. He's going to come. So if you're going to throw a screen, let him come and then throw the ball over him. You see the play here, they know, watch Walker sneak out, just invite Taylor, and then just throw the ball over his head. That's an old NFL rule that goes back 30 years. Always throw a screen pass to the side of the best pass rusher.
They need 3 yards for a first. And that's Walker deep. The ball carrier will get the first down behind Antone Davis, who's become the offensive lineman they say that they thought he was going to be when they drafted him.
Again, they want to get in there behind that right side. Bavaro getting the block. They're going to run to the left side of the screen here. You see Bavaro comes in. He runs a linebacker out. The Giant defense just kind of ran out of that 6-hole. Watch this hole open here, partly because Carlton Bailey, I think, overran it, and he just overran the hole. Mark Collins made a heck of a tackle on that play, though. That looked like a gimme up front by the Giant defense.
Walker got the first down. Brister. Bailey. Shook away from a couple of tacklers and gets to the Giant 32. Stopped finally by Greg Jackson. Victor Bailey, who is exciting after he makes the catch.
Yeah, there's 2 rookies, Bailey and Von Hebron there. Brister's saying, hey, knock off the celebration. Let's get back in the huddle and see if we can score a touchdown. We haven't won here. We haven't won in 5 weeks. The Giants haven't won here in this stadium in 5 years. Brister said, let's not get too excited. Let's save some more for a couple plays here.
That's Corey Miller, who just limped off injured for the Giants. And Davis McGee has taken his place, so McGee and Taylor are outside. That's Walker, hammered behind the line of scrimmage by Stacy Diller.
Again, when they attack and when they penetrate, this defense works. When they don't attack, when they get back, when they run out of the holes, when they run parallel, then it doesn't work. That time they attack. Stacy Diller got the penetration, and there's no running room for Herschel Walker.
Miller is back. Michael Young comes in place of Bailey, but I'm not sure they want Bailey out. 2nd and 13. Hebron started in.
Coming out.
Now he's coming out. I think they only had 10 men.
That's what Bubby Brister's saying on the sideline. They didn't know whether they wanted 1 back or 2 backs. If you look here, they only have 1 tight end. They have 2 wide receivers, and they are missing a back there. They only had 10 men out there. And that 11th guy was Von Hebron. The Eagles offense are either 1 back or 2 back, and now Bavaro doesn't know whether he's supposed to be in there or not.
He started in and came back out, then started in and came back out again.
Communication confusion.
Now the formation's not right. Woo! And they're going to run out of time. They almost did, and the flag goes up. Pass from Brister to Calvin Williams is caught. Threw up a flag before they got the snap from center.
Look at Rich Gotay here. That is an ugly set of circumstances, those last couple of plays. He's wondering what got him in this predicament. The started the play before where he only had 10 guys in there. And then on that play, he had 12 and finally got to 10.
Shift by the offense. Two men moving at the same time, did not reset for a second. The penalty is declined, brings up 4th down.
As many men as you want can shift, but if they shift, they have to set for a second. One guy can go in motion.
And now they send the punting team in. Zeke Bratkowski talking to Richie Kotite, trying to explain what was going on. I don't know how you explain it.
It's hard to explain self-destruction.
Now whistles and flags again.
The ball was snapped before they're ready for play. There's no foul, no play. 4th down.
Ed Hockley. Ed Hockley sent a card up to us before the game to make sure we got his name right.
106 on the clock. The clock should read
Hockley.
106.
You know, he does that every game.
Yeah.
We've had Ed Hockley for, I don't know, 4 or 5 games this year, and every game he sends up that card with the spelling and pronunciation and lines over stuff and everything. Ed Hockley.
You got it. Touchback. They'll come back to the 20. Otis Smith tried to knock it backwards, didn't quite get it done.
You know, the Eagles have really had their problems on this whole series. I mean, they go from 10 men to 12 men to illegal formations to putting the ball on the goal line and 2 guys running into each other. And I'll say one thing for them, though. They've lost 5 in a row, but these guys are playing awfully hard.
They haven't lost any fire.
No, they don't. I mean, they have to. I mean, the first play of the game, their best offensive lineman goes down. They have to readjust everything. And then their quarterback goes down. They put another quarterback, and they keep making adjustments and threw it all out. They keep playing hard.
Here's Sims to Megan. Flag on the play, but Megan is off to the Eagle 30, where he's tripped up finally by Rich Biano. They went to work on Otis Smith. A stop and go. And the go worked. 50 yards on the play.
Again, Otis Smith is in there. He's taking McMillan's place. McMillan was taking Ben Smith's place.
Contact by the defense, number 48. The penalty is declined. 1st down.
Well, that was on Wes Hopkins.
Right.
We're talking about right down here. And here's Megan out here. What happens? They have the receivers on one side. They had Hopkins there. Hopkins tried to tackle Megan as he went by. They put the receivers over on the other side, put the running back on this side, and got the safety on the running back.
That's Hampton. Hampton's down to about the 26.
You know, and the interesting thing about that pass is, one, that Megan was lined up outside as a receiver. The other thing was that was the first pass today caught by a giant running back. So Megan's done everything. You know, he's thrown touchdown passes this year. He's caught touchdown passes this year. And then over the years, he's returned kickoffs and punts for touchdowns, and he's run for touchdowns.
Officials jump in. That's the end of the 3rd quarter. With the score, the Eagles 3, the Giants nothing. Our coverage will continue after this message from your local station. You're watching the NFL on CBS. Eagles, the Giants on the move as we start the 4th quarter. The NFL on CBS continues next Sunday with doubleheader action. John and I will be in Minnesota as the Vikings host the Saints. And the other early games, Philadelphia battles Washington. Tampa Bay travels to Green Bay. Late games, Phoenix and the Giants. 49ers with the Rams. 2nd and 6. Here's Sims. Pump fake. Jackson, touchdown. The first one of the day from 26
brought Hopkins up. They had 8 men up. Phil Simms knew that if they're going to give you 8 men all day, somewhere they had to come up with a big play and a big pass for a touchdown, and that was it.
Treadwell to try the extra point. 6-3, the Giants lead, trying to make it 7. The extra point is good, so with 14:55 left to play, the Giants score the first touchdown of the day and lead the Eagles 7-3. Both teams have punted 6 times. Phil Simms' first touchdown pass since October the 17th against the Eagles. That one just a moment ago. If the Giants should win, they would be tied with the Cowboys for the lead in the NFC East at 7-3.
Yeah, well, we were talking to Phil Simms yesterday. He says that to get a big play, they're going to have to use some movement and go. In other words, an in and up, a hook and up, a stop and go. And on that series, they used both of them. The one to make it and the one to Mark Jackson.
Kickoff goes to Sikahema at the 5. He is cut down at about the 16.
So you start here and you see the Eagles have 8 men. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 guys up. This is the safety, Hopkins. Now you have to make a play against this. Now watch how Simms does his part. Watch, he comes back and he pumps. Now that's going to stop Eric Allen, and then he throws. Now watch the pattern. Here is Jackson. Here is Eric Allen. Watch the effect of the pump. Boom! Poor old Allen is standing there in the 20-yard line. Mark Jackson is in the end zone. That was a great play. Great pass protection. Great play by Simms. And, of course, by Jackson to run the pass.
Stopped by Bailey over the right side.
Yeah, Hopkins, he was the safety that was up. They give him the 8 men. In other words, you know, the 8 men, that gives you the extra guy against the run. That's going to stop the run. Phil Simms saw that, and he gave that in and up. He sold the in with the pump, and then Eric Allen bought that pump and stood right there in the 20, and Jackson ran right by him.
And the Eagles do that differently than anyone else. This is Hebron again. First down, Eagles at about the Giant 32. About their own 32, beg your pardon. Myron Guyton tripped him up. The Eagles give you a different defensive look. Bud Carson handles the defense. He always has done that.
And they give you not as many different fronts as they do coverages. And they give all different kind of coverages. But once they bring that safety up there, they only got 3 guys deep. And those 3 guys deep better not make a mistake. And they did on that touchdown pass.
Hebron is the deep back. And he gets the carry again. To an Eagle first down. Bailey again made the tackle.
Yeah, it looked like Michael Brooks had him. Brooks was right there, and Hebron just turned the corner and outran Brooks. Again, if you're going to get some life from Hebron, it has to be in the running, and you have to be to the outside. But watch Brooks, 94. He sees it. He starts to the outside. Hebron starts to go to the 7-hole. Then he knows that he has to get to the outside, and Hebron just outran him. And then old Brooks came up with an air ball.
First down at the 42. This is Herschel Walker. Herschel turned it upfield for a couple.
Brooks is still mad about Hebron outrunning him on that last play, so he took it off. He took it out on Herschel Walker. Do you see him? You're talking about going somewhere and then bringing a load. Michael Brooks did it on that play, I'll tell you. Remember just a couple weeks ago against Dallas, Mark Collins?
Oh, yeah.
That shot that he took in the back, and they carried him off, and boom, he was back the next week. And this is the second week after that, and still making big hits.
Second and 8. Mr. Fake. Up the middle, Walker, who took it away from Miller. After all that wrestling, he only got a couple of yards. It'll bring up 3rd and long.
Yeah, the Giants will let him have those kind of passes. You can't have any better coverage than Corey Miller had on that. I mean, watch him. He's right on there. He's right there, and he's going for the ball just as Herschel does. But like you say, that's only a 2-yard gain. Those things aren't going to help you. It's just going to bring up 3rd and 5. And this is a play that the Eagles have to make a play on.
Bailey comes right, Williams left. Brister back in the shotgun. Williams just didn't clear him. Brister outside to Walker. No first down. Collins made the stop.
See, that's an idea that anytime you have 3rd down and 5, you have to throw the ball over 5 yards. I mean, this defense is too good. They tackle too well. That old baloney will throw it short and let the guy run with it. Baloney, you throw it short and he gets tackled and you punt. This happens all too often.
Maggott back deep for Fiegel's punt. The Giants leading 7-3. Signaled for by Maggott, makes it at the 12. The Giants will take over there at their own 12-yard line, leading 7. Philadelphia. Pat Summerall with John Madden. Giants have the ball at their own 13. 10.5 minutes left in the game, and the Giants leading 7-3. Here's Sims. With Mark Jackson.
And again, it was the same type of thing, Pat. The Eagles had their 8 men up there. They had the safety up there, only 3 defensive backs deep. And you see that Sims knows that he has to throw against that. And he throws, he makes a pretty good throw because McMillan has good coverage, so he can't throw it to the inside because McMillan has that position. He has to throw it to the outside, but he didn't have enough room to throw it to the outside and keep it inbound.
McMillan had been injured earlier, but back playing now, 2nd and 10. First off is Hampton, who's hit by about 15 different Eagles. That would make a couple of them tackle him twice, wouldn't it?
I'll tell you, that's tough when you come up there, because sometimes it probably looks like that. When you see guys like number 90, the fridge and stuff in there, probably looks like 15 guys. But poor old Hampton, he had to start making cuts and moves in the backfield. Look at that. There's no cutback. When William Perry, number 90, is in there, you're not going to run at him, and you're not going to cut back. And when you get tackled, there's going to be 15 guys on you. William Perry's 5.
At least. 3rd and 7. Perry is out. They rush 4 men. One of them the linebacker. Sims gets rid of it. Incomplete. Flag on the play. Intended for McCaffrey.
First down for the Giants.
Big play.
But Sims, Rich Miano is number 38.
Pass interference on the defense, number 38. Automatic first down.
Tell you, that's pretty good, though. I mean, he may have had that left hand or arm on there, but that was an excellent job of coverage. I'm not sure where the left hand was, but the right hand went around him and knocked the ball down.
He had the body on him, though, from behind.
Yeah, that's probably it. The left hand, but what he did with the right hand was outstanding.
Perry's back in the middle. They head to the outside with Hampton. Can't get Britt Hager and William Thomas.
William Thomas is playing a heck of a game today. You know, you say, who's been the most dominant player on this team? I think it's this guy right here, William Thomas, number 51. I think, I mean, he's done everything. He's knocked down passes. He's got sacked. Watch how he plays that thing. He doesn't get down. He doesn't get knocked down. He doesn't go to the ground. He waits. He lets it come to him. They go outside. He outruns it. He's been playing outstanding.
2nd and 8. Sims gets it but there's a flag on the play.
You know, when you think of Eagle linebackers, you think of Seth Joyner as the outside linebacker, but he's been quiet today, and Thomas hasn't.
False start prior to the snap by the offense, number 66. 5-yard penalty. It remains second down. That was prior to the snap. There was no play.
William Roberts called.
But since there's no play, but you know, you think of Perry, you always think of a big guy, but you don't know how quickly he moved. I mean, he's so big and strong, but he's also very, very quick and very explosive.
Yeah, we were talking to him yesterday about how he handled a double team. Did he ever fall to the ground and just hold his ground? He said, "I don't get on the ground."
So he never goes to the ground.
Sims dumps it out to Megan, who keeps his feet, keeps going, escapes from an Eagle trap and gets to about the 32. Stopped finally by Eric Allen.
And that was a pretty good trap, because that was Thomas over there and Seth Joyner. Joyner had him on one side, Thomas had him on the other side, and how he got through this one, I don't know. Watch, there's Joyner 59, Thomas is 51. The ball's thrown out there. Now watch right there. He makes Joyner miss. He makes Thomas miss right there. And those are two good linebackers. Although I think Joyner's playing hurt.
3rd and 4. He was having his ankle worked on yesterday, Joyner. Here's Sims to throw it. Maybe. Couldn't get rid of it. Just barely got rid of it. It was knocked away by Eric Allen.
And no one blocked Seth Joyner on that. And lucky for Phil Sims, Seth Joyner, for some reason, stopped. I have no idea. Maybe, I think he is hurt, but he's rushing on there, and he pulled up before he got to Sims. Watch him. He has the backside here. He's going to come, and he's not even blocked. Watch him. He comes right there. Now, right there, he just pulled up just before he got to it. He kind of double clutched it.
The Eagles have 2 men back to field this punt, so look out for reverse. This is going to be Sikahema. Bailey by Sikahema to about the 30. Bart Oates, who did the snapping, down to make the stop. 7:38 left to play. And the Lions. The Bears won today. The Lions lost today. Green Bay gained a game by beating Detroit. John Madden and I'll be there, and then we head on to Minnesota for the Sunday following. We will have a turkey.
Yep, we'll have the turkey, and we'll give out the turkey legs, and then we'll eat what's left and end up in Minnesota the next day, and you can't beat it. I mean, there's nothing to me that beats Thanksgiving, eating turkey, dressing, all that stuff, and football.
Especially when you have 2 days extra to eat the turkey. Here's Brister. Looking to throw a screen pass. Flag on the play. This is Walker. To about the 38-yard line, but a flag way back close to the 20. Going to be holding against the Eagles.
And it was that same thing, that screen pass to the side of Lawrence Taylor. Lawrence Taylor making the rush. He had a spinner, inviting him in, throwing him over. It worked, but they got a holding penalty.
Holding by the offense, number 79. 10-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
Mike Shad. There's Norman Bremen in the middle. Harry Gamble, the Eagles president, next to him. Norman Bremen, the owner. Not pleased at the moment.
They're probably trying to figure out how number 79 could hold. He's not even dressed up. It had to be Antone Davis, I would imagine, the right tackle, number 78, holding on the screen pass to his side, and he didn't have to do that.
Had to be. Through the hands of one of the Giant defenders intended for Mark Bavaro. Michael Brooks, I believe, was back that time in the pass protection, the pass defense scheme. Denver over Pittsburgh. How you figure? Second down and long. Second down and 20. Bubby Brister, the quarterback. He has time. He had time. Gets it out to Vaughn Hebron. They got about 3 yards out of that. Willie beaming up to make the stop. Today's game was produced by Bob Stinner, directed by Sandy Grossman. The associate producers Michael Frank, stage manager Rich Nelson, broadcast associates Jim Cornell and Mike Roy, technical director Steve Gorsuch, the audio supervisor is Bob Siderman, field technical manager is Bill Nader. As the Eagles come out on 3rd down, 17. Brister pump fake, going deep, complete, 5 yards long. Michael Young, the intended receiver, and the Giant defense does its job.
I'll tell you, the Giant defense has been doing its job all day. I mean, it's been doing a good job of pass rushing. It's played the run well. It's played the big pass well. And it's really a thing that is an excellent team defense. In fact, they could be a lot like Dallas was a year ago. Remember Dallas a year ago? They had the #1 defense and no one make the Pro Bowl. The Giants could be that kind of defense.
Eagles kick fielded by Meggett. This time he's got some room. Meggett out of bounds at the Eagle 46.
See, the guy that made the tackle there was Herschel Walker. He's the fullback on the punt coverage team.
The Olympic Winterfest, Saturday at 2 o'clock here on CBS. Countdown to Lillehammer features Skate Canada and World Cup speed skating. 4-time world champion Kurt Browning leads the men's field at Skate Canada. 1993 ladies world bronze medalist Chin Lu leads the women's field. And it's NCAA basketball back on CBS at 3:45 Eastern Time. The season premiere features a battle in the Bluegrass State when Louisville tips off against Kentucky. That's all coming up here on CBS. Mark Collins down in the Giant defense.
And there's a guy who has really played well. I mean, you know, they haven't gotten anything today on Mark Collins. He's been the last couple of weeks, he's been a real warrior. You know, he has that back injury and he could hardly get in and out of a chair. I'll tell you, if you look at what this defense has done to the Eagle quarterbacks, sacked them 3 times, hurried them 12 times, 7 knockdowns, 3 batted balls, an interception, with 1 quarterback out, put the second one back in there. The Giant coaching staff up there, they've done a real good job with this defense. We're talking about Mike Nolan being the defensive coordinator and the job that he's done, and the other assistants and the players. And
well, they've done it with a completely different philosophy than what they had in their heyday years a few years ago.
And it wasn't popular when they first brought it in. Remember, they brought in a different scheme, and one of the first moves they made was they got rid of Pepper Johnson, who was so popular. They went from the 2 gap to the 1 gap, and that upset Eric Howard. He didn't play, and they brought in those 2 inside linebackers, Brooks and Bailey, and paid them a lot of money. So it wasn't an easy adjustment.
No,
it wasn't something that was just automatic.
First down, Giants at the Eagle 47. Now is when they need to be able to run it. A yard shy of the first down, stopped by Miano.
You know, the thing I was saying, a good running back always has to keep his feet going and have a little patience. I watch Hampton, how he keeps his feet going. They're always going there, and you just wait and let blocks happen, and then just keep going. Just keep all the parts, all the stuff you got, just keep it moving until the whistle blows.
2nd and 1. Hampton and Bunch behind Sims. Bunch hasn't carried all day. Hampton gets enough for the first down at the Eagle 35.
Luckily, they got enough for the first down because number 91, Andy Harmon, got penetration there. He got in the backfield, but he just had a reach before Andy would get the first down.
It's funny how when you get one guy in the middle of a defense like a Wizard Perry in this case, he makes the people around him so much more effective.
Yeah, and that, you know, that's really helped the middle linebacker, Brent Hager, who's had to take Byron Evans' place, having someone like Perry to play behind.
This is Hampton again. About 2 yards, and again, number 90 will get up out of the pile.
Yeah, that's the thing you can't do. You can't run at him. I mean, here he is, and here's Hager right behind him, and this is what makes Hager able to play or helps him, because Perry is so big and so strong that no one can get to Hager. So you just kind of keep everything right there. As Perry says, do you ever go to the ground at double team? He says, I never go down, period. I don't care what they bring at me. I'm always going to keep my feet. But I don't know. I don't think that's a good decision to run at William Perry. I don't have that in my game plan.
They need 8 for a first. They give this time to Tillman. And he might get back to the line of scrimmage, maybe not. Howard Cross.
Here they ran away. They ran away. Here's Fridge here. They're going to go away from him. And here's one way to block him. Just get that center back there and then start to run away from him. And then if you can't get that leg, what they call a leg wrap, get the leg wrap and twist on him. That'll get him to the ground.
3:38 left to play, and the Giants leading 7-3. Linebacker. 3rd and long. Here's Sims to throw it. Gets it to Chris Callaway, but doesn't get a first down. But it got him closer to field goal range.
And that was a big tackle for the Eagles there, because had the Giants gotten a first down, they could have run a lot of time off the clock. Because remember, the Eagles have fouled up and that they've already used 2 timeouts. So that's going to come back somewhere to play a part in this game, the fact that the Eagles only have 1 timeout. Had the Giants gotten a first down there, that could have been a pretty big nail.
That usually does come back to haunt. The Giants are going to let it run down, it looks like.
Yeah, the 2 things that come back to haunt you are dumb timeouts before the end of the half or the end of the game, and missed extra points.
Both of them. The Giants take a timeout. They have 2 left. The Eagles only have 1, as John Madden said.
But I think if the Eagles can get the ball back, then that 1 timeout will be plenty. If the Giants were to get a first down, then that would have played bigger. Of course, if the Giants can get a field goal here, then that'll play pretty big too, because that would mean the Eagles would then need 2 scores.
This game is presented by authority of the National Football League. This CBS telecast is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of CBS, the Philadelphia Eagles, and the National Football League is prohibited.
Whatever the Giants are going to do, Pat, Dan Reeves wanted them to be exactly sure of it, because he called the entire team over to the sideline and he talked to them all. It's going to be a field goal attempt, but he had something that he wanted to say to the entire team.
That's one of the things I think you have to admire about Dan Reeves, is that with all that's going on around him, he seems to always keep his composure.
On the outside, I think he does, but I think on the inside, he's just like the rest of us.
But they don't make silly mistakes. Treadwell. The snap. And the field goal is no good. That one hurts. Maybe he doesn't keep it all inside.
He doesn't on that one. And again, you always think you take a chance. You know, You take a chance on a snapper, and they waived Steve DiBiase 2 weeks ago. And at the time, it doesn't seem like you should pay a guy a lot of money just to be a snapper. But then you get in a situation like this, you get a high snap, the ball goes left, you miss it where you could have put the game away maybe, and you say, maybe my snapper Steve DiBiase was worth it.
Maybe. But
he's playing for the Jets now, so that's all academic.
Can't look back. Here's Brister. His receiver fell down. It was supposed to be Michael Young. Brister, pass incomplete.
You know, those special teams things, you know, like the snapper, the holder, and all that stuff, it never, you know, as a coach, it never seems that important until it gets to be a meaningful part of the end of a game.
Well, of course, Mike Horan has not been the holder for Treadwell until last week either. Here's Brister. He's going up the middle. Michael Young was nailed.
And Michael Young was zeroed in on by Myron Guyton the whole way. What you see, Collins is running behind him. He almost makes that catch, but Guyton has him zeroed in. But I think Young has dropped that ball before Myron Guyton got there.
I think he saw it coming.
Because he's going to come from here, and you just watch him. He's going to come to the middle, then he's going to come back to this side. And again, I think he dropped it before he got there.
Brister to Calvin Williams. That's going to be a little bit short of a first down. The Eagles again down to 1 timeout with 2:31 left. Whatever decision about going for it, well, they're going to measure first. Let's see if Williams got it.
Yeah, you want a measurement as a coach because that gives you time to think of what play you're going to call if it's short. You always want that time. They ought to have Bubby Brister over there talking to him right now.
Need less than a foot, it appears.
Yeah, I would be thinking, I wouldn't be worried about that measurement. If I were the coaches, I'd be worried about telling Bubby Brister what I want to do for fourth down. Now, if it's not fourth, I'll worry about that next.
4th and inches.
Well, they're still measuring it.
They're just placing it now.
No.
I hear too many no.
Well, yeah, that'll happen. Before you get the play you use, you will go over 4 plays. It's usually the 5th play that you finally do. And it may be as simple as a quarterback sneak, but they better get the right guys in there.
They only need a couple of inches. Now they start the clock running. Of utmost importance right now is the first down.
It took a lot of time to call that play in the huddle.
Didn't they, though? That timeout's remaining. Giants 2, Eagles 1. Brister. And they won't get it. They took too much time. They couldn't make a decision. They gave the ball to Hebron, and they didn't come close.
Yeah, Bubby Brister tripped coming out on that play. That play didn't have a chance from the start. I didn't like the formation. They opened the formation. Brister tripped. Hamilton gets the thing. Watch Hamilton here. Watch Brister as he starts. He trips coming out of there. Hamilton gets a penetration. The play doesn't have a chance. What happened is the right guard stepped on his foot, knocked him off, and Hebron got the ball, and there was Keith Hamilton right there. That was a big play for the Giants. I don't know about that play for the Eagles. They used an open formation, and you'd think you would like to be a little tighter in there.
All you needed was a quarterback sneak.
All you had to do is, just take the ball and fall down. We're just talking about inches.
The Giants take over. 1st and 10. They lead it 7-3. This is Hampton. The Eagles get it back. Whoa, does that thing bring back some memories?
You talk about a play that will bring back memories of Pacharczyk, as you say. But how about what it does to Dan Reeves? In this situation, you don't want to fight for yardage. You don't want to do it. The ball is just popped out of there as Rodney Hampton is trying to make a cut back to the inside. When you have the game and you have control, you don't need yardage, you need ball maintenance.
Mike Flores made the recovery. 1st and 10, Eagles at their own 35.
I think this is the anniversary, isn't it, of that play?
Sargic tried to hand off to Duncan. Here's Brister. Here's Bailey, and he gets out of bounds.
Lawrence Taylor's trying to talk that referee into a holding call. He was right there at Brister when he threw the ball and said he was being held. He was. Watch him. He can take this and submit this as evidence that he was being held. Look at that. I mean, he's being held, spun, twisted, and everything. Had he not been held, he would have gotten a sack.
2nd and 4. Brister. Incomplete. Alvin Williams, the intended receiver. He would have had an Eagle 1st down.
Last week it was James Lofton that dropped a big one.
And we have not seen James Lofton today until now. 3rd and 4.
The Eagles really dodged the bullet on that 4th down, going for that fouled up play, and then even getting another chance is surprising.
They are 2 out of 14 today. 3rd down situation. Intended for Herschel Walker, incomplete. 4th and 5. 4 make it.
This is a big call. We see Rich Kotite there watching. Zeke Bratkowski, the offensive coordinator. That's Zeke right there making the call. Rich Kotite, it looked like he was throwing his hand down like he didn't like the call before they even run the play.
We'll see how much he liked it. 4th and 4. The Eagles at their own 40. Clock running. Down to 2 seconds. Miller. Chase Brister. Brister. Incomplete. James Lofton was the Eagle in the area. No flags anywhere. The Eagles got a second chance.
Ball goes over on downs, and we're set for the 2-minute warning.
Will go over.
1:57 on the clock.
2-minute warning. The Giants cling to that lead, 7-3, with 1:57 on the game clock. Left to play. The Giants take over on downs. They have 2 timeouts left. The Eagles only have 1. The Giants leading at 7-3. 1 touchdown. The pass from Sims to Jackson.
I guarantee you, look at Sims is yelling, "Get over here" to Derek Brown, like a father to his son or something. Get over there.
They give it to Hampton.
See how Hampton carried that one? No, he put both arms around it, and I'm sure that's what Dan Reeves told him. He said, look, I don't care about yardage now. I just want you to take care of the ball.
And Philadelphia takes their last timeout. So, with this remaining the way it is, let's look at the standings in the NFC East. Dallas at 7-3. The Giants, with this victory over Philadelphia today, will be at 7-3. The Eagles dropped to 4-6, 6 in a row they've lost. Phoenix didn't play today. The Redskins still playing.
I think, again, at the start of the season, after we saw the Eagles, they looked so good against Green Bay. Of course, they had Randall Cunningham then. They had Fred Barnett then. They had Byron Evans. They really looked like they were going to be a team. Then they just got banged. I mean, they just got decimated with injuries. But who would have thought that after 10 weeks, after 10 games, that the Dallas Cowboys and the New York Giants would be tied for first place in the NFC East?
I don't think even the Dallas Cowboys and the New York Giants would have thought that.
Oh, and I'm sure that the Giants, anyone in the Giants or any fan sure would have taken that.
Oh boy. Rodney Hampton again.
But today they did it with defense. And even, you know, when their offense let them down like that last fumble, their defense came in again and put out the fire. Their defense spent this whole day putting out fires. They put a lot of pressure on O'Brien, and then they put pressure on Brister. Then they didn't let the running game get going, and they just swarmed and didn't let this Eagle team get anything going.
And as you pointed out before, they've done it with a lot of guys who don't have the great reputations.
No, I mean, they could be one of the top defenses. They are one of the top defenses in the NFL, and they could possibly not have anyone in the Pro Bowl.
The clock will continue to run. He's stopped by Hopkins. Lawrence Taylor. Strong performance by Lawrence again today.
And there's some more evidence that he was held. Look at the OR, and Taylor is half off.
Almost tore his name off.
The end of his name, and that's the end of a day's work. Now with all these players wearing gloves and stuff, when it's all over, they just take off the gloves, throw them away, throw one down, keep one on.
Get your hat.
Even Dan Reeves, I noticed, took his gloves off. He was coaching with gloves on earlier, and as the heat got going through the body, he took the gloves off the hands.
Flag on the play. Timeout to the Giants. The clock had run down.
You know, you can have all that stuff, and you know, you're a little cold stuff, and then you get in the heat of the game. Man, the last thing you need is a pair of gloves in your hand when you're playing in Philadelphia. You haven't won here. The Giants haven't won here since 1987. Been answering questions all week on why you can't do it. And I'll guarantee you, you get in a tight game like this, and that'll warm those hands up.
Sims checks back in. A reminder again that coming up next is 60 Minutes here on CBS. As soon as we're through in Philadelphia. 7-3. You would think a game with only that many points scored would pass by a lot more quickly, but it hasn't. Fourth down. 24 seconds remaining on the game clock. As long as he could, this is Hampton. Got the first down. Clock will continue to run, and the Giants will be tied for first place with the Cowboys in the NFC East. 7-3. They break a losing streak here and sweep the series for the first time since 1987.